Hello, welcome back. My name is Vazco the Gamer, and if I'm not as energetic as I, seems to be lately, is, because today wasn't the greatest day, but anyway, my plan of having a live stream tomorrow at 1500 GMT plus 1 time is still up and running at this point. And what I'm going to talk about then is, mental health as I usually talk about in vlogs, but I'm going to have a direct feed with you guys. So if you want anything answered, I will answer that directly if it's not something that I would rather skip, basically, because there are some subjects, of course, that can be a bit problematic to answer in a very short period of time. Because you got complex questions like, is there a bleep? And I don't want to promise anything I can deliver on. So I will try and answer most of the questions that I'm asked. You can either just ask them here in the comments on my Twitter, or please, if you want to, join the live stream. My plan is to both be playing some games at the very least, and also just chatting with you guys. I'm thinking that most of the afternoon, afternoon for me at the very least, is going to be the live stream at the very least, and we'll see how long we're going to hold up. Usually my live streams are about 2 or 3 hours at this point, because, so far it's been that I can talk about some subjects like mental health and disorders and illnesses and such for hours upon hours, but then again it comes to a point where I start repeating myself and I don't like that point. And also, with nothing else to spin about, if I have to write a script, I will do so, because it's an interesting thing, because I rarely stick to a script. Last time I tried to do that, it was during a literature exam, which I, for some reason, was going to talk about Don Quixote, and for some reason started to talk about a trajectory of a bullet. Yeah, when you go from Don Quixote to shot to, hey, there's a bullet somewhere, and it's traveling at that speed. I will answer due calculations for 2 minutes without realizing it. Whoops, that's annoying. And so I will try to make a script and stick to it, but then again, when it comes to live streams, you never have a clue how the audience will react, or how they will respond, and what questions they will serve you, or ask you. And so you have to be flexible, which can be a challenge for someone with Asperger's, as I know very much. But then again, that's life. And when it comes down to life, let's just think about this little piece of information. We have now reached about a 5th of December. We're in the final stages of 2018. After the shitstorm it was 2017, we hoped that 2018 would be better. Some of us did something that we never thought we would even go and start. I started YouTube. Not in that regard, I started my channel at YouTube. I started YouTube. That would be amazing if I could make something like that, but you know what I mean. I made close to 300 videos in the span of, from Easter holidays at late of March until now. I think it's that time frame it's been. And that is an achievement. Great achievement for me, because before that, I wasn't. That was also before I was diagnosed with Asperger and ADHD. I only had a Tourette and a lot of things on my mind. The suffering of having 2 non-diagnosed diagnoses, if I can put it like that, was heavy. We don't know what's wrong with you, and you know that, okay, I share a lot of symptoms and a lot of problems and challenges with others with these syndromes and challenges. I might have them myself. Okay, let's just get this diagnosed so we'll get out of the way and don't bring anything else up in it. And sure enough, it seems like, oh damn. Okay, we are well into the autism spectrum. Like the Dutch say, I'm an outie. Autist, basically. And then it was confirmed that it was Asperger. And then, on top of that, my psychologist almost straight told me that, well, we have a bit of the Asperger that collides with the Tourette, and my suspicion is that you have ADHD as well. So let's run some tests on that. And they were also right. So in the span of a year, I got 2 new diagnoses, according to my therapist again. She has, well, told me bluntly that, because when it comes to Asperger's and that diagnosis, and our way of thinking is that just be blunt with us. Just hit us hard in the head. Or please don't do that, that might hurt a bit. Or very much. Anyway, that with those 3 combined and the dissonance and also every big bit of baggage that comes along with it, combined with economic situations and everything that a poor economic situations comes along with, is that my social anxiety combined with everything else, I won't say transformed, but it evolved into a sort of depression. I will say a sort of, because there are many sorts of them in extremely many ways. And I don't notice that bit on a regular or a daily basis, to put it like that. And that's the thing with depression and with a lot of mental health issues, that you don't always see them. You don't see them sneaking up on you. They can come right through that door now and, well, break you apart. And the worst thing I hear when I have a truly bad day and are really low is, well, cheer up. Yeah, I didn't think about that at all. Thanks for the advice. You're welcome. Okay, that was my attempt at sarcasm, and you didn't get it. Then you fuck right off. Thank you. And that is among the things I like to discuss tomorrow at the stream. And also, there are a lot of things that we can do as a community and we should do as, well, decent human beings, because the fact is, whenever someone is facing a challenge or having a rough period, going away from them or try to distance yourself from them and thinking that that's the best isn't always the right answer. And that's a problem. Anyway, that is just bloody annoying to a lot of people, and especially to us who struggles with this. Wait a second, what the hell is that? I don't know, oh, just shadow. Oops. Anyway, moving back to what's this subject. I will discuss this a lot more tomorrow, because psychological illness is something that, well, or psychological, mental, or just mental health in general is something that I care a lot about, because it seems like, or the fact is, actually, that a lot of it is basically hidden. You can't often see the symptoms unless you're either actively looking for them or have a good knowledge about them beforehand. Or basically, if you've been through it yourself. And that is the hard part, because a physiological illness or challenge or handicap even, I don't want to call it a handicap, but sometimes it is. Anyway, it's something that you can easily spot. Spotting depression on a person that is trying to hide it, or is trying not to acknowledge that it's there is very hard, because, well, when it comes to some mental challenges, illnesses and such, it's not always that you want to be as upfront with them as I am. And I can understand why. One, there's a stigma. You don't enjoy or like or want to be in the same category as someone that is in the in less functional category or less functional part of the spectrum as you are. For instance, let's say in Norway, if you are 50% blind in one eye, you can be classified as totally blind, as legally blind at the very least. Which means that you with, let's say that I went blind in this eye. Okay, I can still see pretty nice with one eye, but my condition is technically blind as someone who can't see at all, or someone who just has impaired vision on both eyes to a certain degree. And that is understandable in some cases. In others, it's problematic, especially when it comes to mental health and illnesses, because it's very easy to, I will say that an illness that is now diagnosed, that it accelerates or worsens depending on how you perceive it. Example, if I see that, okay, I have a vivid imagination, I don't see it as a problem, but I don't see it as a helpful tool either. I just see it as something that is going on. If it's full acceptance for that, that can easily go in the direction that, okay, this will evolve because it's acceptable. It's something that everyone does, or everyone does. If it's not accepted, you try to hide it, that can cause negative effects also. If you try to show it, that is sometimes interesting in itself. But then again, these are all subjects I will take up more tomorrow, when I have better time and in better health, hopefully. And also, you guys will have the chance to, well, interact with the stories and how basically I tell them. And especially when it comes to this, because a big part of the debate or, well, truth about mental health and illnesses, diagnoses, syndromes, etc. is the fact that we need everyone on board. We need everyone's stories. We need everyone's truth. Because we're all different. And so there are no real mental health solutions or final ways to deal with something, because you can't apply a method to everyone. That's impossible. Because my Tourette normally comes along when it's a lot of stress. I fumble words, that's the first sign of me being stressed or insecure or any negative emotional response, basically. On the other hand, when I'm extremely stressed, you don't see or hear me fumble with words, and it's very much easier for me to to express the text. That if I'm completely stressed out, or in the opposite direction, if I'm completely relaxed, don't have a care in the world, I don't see a tick coming at all and I can't stop it. And so I can talk to you guys and suddenly I have a twitch in my arm. This is an example of that. And I won't note it unless, one, I see it, or two, I can feel it coming. Feeling a tick, that is a hard business. That's a very hard business. And that is one of the only ways you can stop a tick before it happens. Either that or hack off your hand. Good luck having a tick now. Then again, there are no final ways to deal with these things. And I'm not trying to find one either. I just want one thing really, and that is that we can try and just easily show respect and acknowledge that we're all different, and we need to understand that, and then find ways to see how can we help each other out. Because we're all worth something. We all have our resources. We'll all have our skills and determination and ambitions. And we can utilize all those in every single individual. Then we can make a lot of great things together. On the other hand, if we perceive mental health and mental illnesses as just something that's either permanent, or that they can't do anything because their disability, well, it makes them worth a lot less. People aren't worth less than others. Any way we perceive it. I don't believe that we should earn different just because you get one male, one female. That's bullshit. You shouldn't go out and determine who gets a job based on gender, age, or in some cases, that is a problematic situation with society. You can't make a rule that applies to all, because it's the grey areas, which dogs love. Sorry. Anyway, that making a rule for everything is hard, especially in some situations, but in some cases, it's very easy. Like equal pay for equal work, done. We're moving past it now, please. But when you're categorizing people depending on their psychological behavior, their psychological health, and what they've been through, you have to take into consideration that we are different. And that is an inherent thing that we need to process and figure out. By figure out, I mean that you can't think that someone with, let's say, PTSD is going to act the same way as someone without PTSD. You can't perceive and you can't think out or lay a plan that one with Asperger is going to react the same way as one with ADHD or Tourette. It's completely different, person to person, diagnosis to diagnosis, and at the very least we need everyone on board to try and... I want to reshape society, I just want to improve it a bit. Jesus Christ, what if with my coffee today? I'm like a Pokemon today, just coughing away. Anyway, I will hopefully see all of you great people tomorrow at the stream. Remember, 1500 hours, GMT +1. For me, it's 3 in the afternoon. For you guys, it's depending on where in the world you are. I have no idea. Please tell me in the comments, and if you have any question for me, well, type them in the comments, or send them to me on Twitter, or even better, join me in the stream, and we will answer them together. Because this is meant as a dialogue, not a monologue. And that is what I love about doing this, because I get to interact with you. And the best way is, of course, when we can have a proper dialogue, where I don't always need to be the one that is talking to you guys, and then in the aftermath of that you come back. We can do that simultaneously now. Isn't the internet great? Anyway, that's for me, Vazco the Gamer. This has been basically a very, very long trailer to the live stream tomorrow. And I bid you a great Friday night. Or day, depending on where in the world you are. Bye bye!